So Dave Appling, he deserves to be king. Why? Because LAEF wouldn't be here without him.
I think Dave deserves the honor of LAEF King this year because he's been a force in this community for so many years. Ever since he and Diane moved in 40, 50 years ago, he raised his 3 boys here, fine sons, all went through the LaSalle system. He's been so instrumental in the community that he is Mr. LaSalle.
I think that Dave is a magnanimous king, and all good kings should be magnanimous. There is no one who has been an institution at this high school or in this district like Dave Appling.
Well, I've never seen a guy that worked more than Dave around this community ever since I was here in the early 80s. I came to him and said, I'd like to have a scholarship program for football kids that don't get scholarships that need the help. So we went over that week and put together a plan for a Griffin Football Foundation. It stayed in place. I think it's still in place. We've given over $100,000 in scholarship, all because Dave raised all the money and stayed on it.
Dave Appling has been a pillar of the LaSalle community for the last 40 plus years. His leadership, his generosity, his community spirit has really allowed for so many amazing things to happen in Los Alamitos.
Dave was president of LAEF, but not just that. He has always supported all of its iterations. He handed the reins to me and Julie Catlett in 2008 and was an advocate for the new direction the foundation was taking. He is one of the most consistent supporters of LAEF.
He's a people person, he cares about others. He's a fellow Rotarian with me, and the motto is service above self, and Dave does that in his life. He is definitely deserving of being crowned the king.
Dave has been involved in the youth center. He's been involved in the football foundation. He started that back in the mid-'80s. Been involved with the very beginnings of LAEF and the educational foundation here at LaSalle.
He also supported the School of the Arts when it developed here in the late 80s.
Always helping kids, Again, he never asked anything for himself.
Dave, thank you for being Mr. Appling. You are one of the most gracious and genuine people I've ever had the honor to know.
He is highly charismatic, and so people just follow him. He's a great leader.
I'm proud to be your friend, but I can name probably a couple of hundred people in this community who would be happy to call you their best friend and do every day.
And I'm just honored to call you my friend, and I want to congratulate you for this amazing evening and this well-deserved recognition.
But I want to say a thank you to Dave, a personal thank you, Dave. You know how much I love you.
Dave, you've been a friend for more than 35 years. I knew you when you were young and good looking. Anybody that's seen you lately knows that was a really long time ago.
There aren't too many people like him. I think that I've never met anybody quite like Dave. Highly charismatic, a wicked sense of humor, but loved everyone.
Dave, congratulations. It has been an honor to work with you.
And thank you for leading with your heart and showing us all how to be volunteer extraordinaire.
So wear your crown proudly. You should have been wearing it a long time before this, and I've always thought you were a king anyway. Thanks, Dave.